How lean you are on stage is something that you are in control of. But if getting into stage condition was as simple as just eating dust and inhabiting the Stairmaster for a few days, most competitive athletes would get there, but they don't. And that's because reaching stage condition starts long before your contest prep. So today I'm going to be covering the strategy that you can use to get yourself in tip-top stage condition. Can't be stepping on stage with damn soggy glutes, big man. It's a strategy that I use to coach myself to WNBF pro status and also multiple wins across my recent season. Right, so step one is about creating a great start point. Now, this great start point is characterized by three different things: being lean enough, having your training performance in a fantastic spot, and having your routine in a fantastic spot as well. So meal timings, your sleep, your adherence are all in a great spot. I want you to imagine this as like the holy trinity of the start point, because without all three, you're going to end up being on the back foot at the start of a contest prep. So how do you go about creating this godly start point? Well, the quickest way to do that is to get yourself in what's known as a pre-prep diet. It's pretty simple, right? Because a diet is going to make you leaner. Training performance should still be high regardless of you going into a diet because of the improvements you've made in your off season. And going through this pre-prep diet can almost act as a bit of a practice run for your actual contest prep. It's actually a really good opportunity for you to lock in on things such as your meal timings, your sleep, all of which are going to make your contest prep a lot smoother. This is probably the most important part of ensuring you don't step on stage soft. Part of my job obviously involves getting on calls with prospective clients, and during those calls I'll talk to them about their previous preps, because one of the main things that people suffer with is not being able to get in shape. They really struggle to get that last bit off. And there's always a common trend among these people. It's just they started their contest prep too soft. They've had to go through that contest prep and take off 25 to 30% of their body weight. And that is always going to result in the same soft, tired, and flat look. Because the issue in that instance isn't the fact that they didn't diet hard enough, because anybody that can take off 30% of their body weight has big cojones. The problem is at that point, you're fighting a losing battle against physiology, because you're just putting your body under way too much stress. That's why that start point is so important, because if you start your contest prep too soft, you just diminish your chances of actually reaching the finish line. So then what do we do once we've created this start point through our pre-prep diet? Well, the next thing is to create a timeline. You need to create a rough guideline as to how long your contest prep is going to be. And this is something that I do with all of my clients. You're going to want to map out how long your contest prep is going to be so that you can quite literally see that you're not needing to lose loads of body weight. And typically a contest prep will last anywhere between 25 and sometimes even 30 weeks. And this timeline is taking into consideration mishaps, the body not playing ball, illness, diet breaks, and peaking for different shows as well. So many athletes run out of time in their contest prep. Solution number one, give yourself more time. So now you're almost there. You've done a pre-prep diet, you've created this incredible start point, and you have a timeline as to how long your contest prep is going to be. So what's the next thing that we should be doing to ensure that the end result of your contest prep is a physique that is in incredible condition? Well, that actually comes once you're in the contest prep, and that's controlling your rate of loss. The sweet spot is about 1% of your body weight every week. But there is a catch to that. Once you get to a certain point, you need to understand that chasing new lows with your body weight is not going to result in a better look. This ties back to my last point, which was about giving yourself enough time. And partly one of the reasons you need to give yourself enough time is because you need to be able to go through a period of time of not actually making changes to your food or your expenditure. When you're really lean, fat loss changes can be occurring when the scale isn't moving that dramatically. And sometimes, rather than just lowering your food, you actually just need to wait a couple more weeks at the same body weight. Just unnecessarily stripping away food is going to result in your body fighting back. Remember, the goal is muscle retention and a great look. It's not just losing weight. So don't be afraid to watch the look. Let the scale stop moving and control your rate of loss if necessary with things such as refeed days. Throughout my contest prep, I got in very good shape. And throughout that process, I had very consistent high days. In fact, I don't think there was a 2-week period I went throughout my entire contest prep where I didn't have high days. Still, you've gone through this contest prep. Amazing start point. You've controlled your rate of loss. You have a timeline. Everything is mapped out perfectly. Some athletes get here and they still mess things up on the show day. And this is where the final part of the strategy comes in clutch. A lot of athletes feel like they have to do so many different things in peak week just because it's peak week and just because they've seen everybody else do something on peak week. You don't have to do anything. Peak week is really simple. And if there's one tip that I can give you for a fantastic peak week, it's to be fat-free. And if you don't know where to start, here's a strategy that you could use. Reduce your expenditure by lowering your steps or eliminating your cardio. Gradually begin to taper up your food, primarily carbohydrates. And then have your coach monitor your look more frequently throughout the day, trying to find your best look. By this point, the hard work should be done. Don't ruin your physique by just introducing strategies that you haven't used the entirety of your prep. I've documented every single competitive season that I've done on YouTube. And if you want to watch the latest one, you can click right here because it went pretty well.